Infinite blessings and love. Namaste, namaskaram. This is Om Oracle Tarot, and this is the Virgos reading for August 2022 for what is on Virgo's spiritual path for August. I want to remind everybody that these are general readings and may not resonate with everyone. If they don't, that's all right. There's plenty of other great YouTube tarot readers that you can check out. And I also want to remind everybody that you can get in contact with me here in the comments of the video or at Om Oracle Tarot Instagram, at the Instagram page there. And there's only one Om Oracle Tarot Instagram page, and I will never solicit an email to you or a DM requesting funds or money. So if you receive something like that from someone claiming to be me that is not me, that would be a scam, and please do report it. I also want to remind everybody that if this reading resonates with you at all, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as it is most appreciated and helps get the video and the channel into the proper algorithms. All right, without any further ado, please give us a message. What is on Virgo's spiritual path for August 2022? 3 cards, please. I only take uprights and I only take jumpers from the deck. 3 cards, please. All right. Mm-mm-mm. 3 cards, please. Okay. Mm. 3 cards, please. Thank you. Start out with a King of Cups. 2 more, please. We have the Devil and the Knight of Pentacles. And at the bottom, we have the 4 of Cups. So, you're coming in, you have this big cup of love. You're holding all this compassion that you're wanting to give. But you are bound in some way or another, and this would appear to be an emotional relationship type of thing, perhaps. You are bound. And in a place where you are not able to give this cup because perhaps the other person you're engaged with doesn't have a cup to share. So this everybody's drinking from your cup, but you're not getting to drink out of someone's cup. So your cup is being depleted by this. But with the Knight of Pentacles, you're coming through, you're doing the hard shadow work here to extricate yourself out of this. And your abundance of what you seek is coming. It is moving really slow. And the reason why it is moving slow is because with the 4 of Cups, you're focused on the fact that you only have so much in your cup, but the divine is trying to hand you this cup of compassion and love. So somewhere love is trying to come in, but you are not noticing it because you are focusing on the fact that your cup has been depleted. But the divine is trying to give you full cups here. And it would appear that you have to be unbound in order to see this cup. All right, let's get 3 more cards for what is on Virgo's spiritual path for August 2022, please. 3 cards. And this is the Yogic Path deck. Dariana. Two more cards, please. Tantra. One more. Oop. All right. Excuse me while I get this out of the ground. All right. We have Rajas. All right. So, Dariana, this is one pointed concentration. So, you are really focused on filling this cup, and you're focused on getting out of this, what has you bound, perhaps this toxic relationship. And you're wanting a more of a spiritual union here with this tantric card. And you're making a dynamic movement, almost in a forceful way. You're going to have to force your way out of this with the Rajas. And you're also going to have to take this one-pointedness of looking at the fact that your cup appears to be dwindling, and change this one-pointedness onto the cup that the divine is trying to show you of this more spiritual union. And this is going to take willpower, this energy of the Rajas. So let's get 3 more cards, please, from the Wisdom of the Buddha deck. 3 cards, 3 messages for our Virgos, for what is on their spiritual path in August 2022, please. All right. We have Vajrapani. 2 more cards, please. Now, I don't talk very much. I'm kind of a quiet person, so if I'm quiet, I want you to kind of look within while I'm not speaking and see what images, sounds, perhaps words come to your mind while I'm shuffling here, and see how they apply to this reading. This is your intuition kicking in, so do pay attention to that. All right. So we have the ecstatic Dakini. Oh, there's a lot in here. All right. We have white Mahakala. We have Vajrapani. Excuse me, Vajra Paramita. Excuse me, I know I just destroyed that name. And then we have the red Dakini. All right. Now, Vajrapani is the guardian of the temple gate. So, let's get the message here. Use your strength to help someone who is struggling. So, again, I think you got a similar reading last month where this strength that you have to help someone who's struggling, this someone is you, and you've been pouring your cup out to other people. But now it's time to consolidate your cup in order to step away from this, because it appears that this compassionate, emotional, balanced place within you is struggling to find ground here with this toxicity around you. So, and this is the lion-headed Dakini. And old age brings wisdom and fierce certainty. So, regardless of physical age, you've been through enough, whether it's this life or previous lives, that you have the wisdom and the fierce certainty to know that this is not where you want to be, and this is not ultimately where you belong. This is not your destiny to be chained like this. But you are doing this shadow work to release yourself from this. White Mahakala, the god of prosperity and wealth. Wish others wealth and happiness, yours will come too. So you have been wishing these others wealth by pouring out your cup to them. And perhaps what you have given them in your cup has not been appreciated, and perhaps has even been dumped out or traded for another cup. So there is some animosity here. And what the Spirit is saying is, when you get out of this, leave that in the past and wish them well, so that yours can come too. Because if we focus on the fact that we only have these 3 cups, we're not going to notice the divine trying to hand us this 4th cup of this spiritual union that appears to be headed your way. And Parsna Paramita, I did it again. Anyway, the goddess of the 3 times, and her message is, the writings of great beings have the voice of God within them. So this is reminding you to, in a sense, be on your study about God, the Spirit, perhaps reading the books and writings of whether it be saints or holy men or occult giants, or whatever path you may be on. Look to these writings, because you'll find the wisdom and some answers you've been searching for within these writings. And as I say that, I feel like you know exactly the writings I'm talking about here. The red Dakini, who dances within white Mahakala's heart. So love is the most powerful force of all. So you've been giving love, but not really receiving it in the way that you need it. And you are really at this point here where you're like, I just want real love here in the way that I need it. Now, everybody is needing love in a different way, because we're all wired up differently. And this yearning in your heart is why the divine is handing you this cup of love and this spiritual union that is coming your way. We'll get 3 cards from the Gita deck. 3 cards, please, for our Virgos, for what is on their spiritual path for August 2022. Thank you. All right, stuff through the table. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So here we have the true leader card. Now this is Shiva. And this is speaking of perhaps there has been a false leader, someone who has placed himself in this lead role in your life. And this is why your cup is empty, or at least dwindling, and why you're losing the ground of this emotional balance, because you've been taking this someone who's claiming to be true leader. And now you're seeing this from doing the shadow work. You're starting to see this. And the question arises, is this with the friend or enemy card, is this my friend or is this my enemy? Now, this is a tough position to be in. People want a partner, not a competitor. Someone who is jockeying for this leadership role. It should be an even. Nobody should be the leader in a relationship. It should be a collaboration, not a domination. So you're asking, is this my friend or my foe here? And with this, there's lust tied up into this toxic relationship, this attachment to this. And you're realizing that this leader, this friend or foe, is really you're seeing the holes in their ego and seeing that this is a false ego. This is a front. This is not actually who they claim to be, or perhaps who they presented themselves to be, or who you thought that they would be. And so you're starting to see the holes in the story. But the divine, we have Hanuman here, Jai Hanuman, is destroying this chariot here. What has these horses bound is being destroyed by the divine. The divine is aiding you in getting rid of this, because you've done the shadow work. You see that you want to be free of this, and the divine is saying, okay, ask and you shall receive. But there's still a looking back to say, oh, well, I still only have these 3 cups. But if you look to the divine, seek these teachings, leave the past behind and look up. The divine is handing you this divine cup. All right, let's get 3 cards. 3 cards, please. From the Gods and Goddesses deck, for what type of divine energies are surrounding Virgos on their spiritual path for August 2022. 3 cards, please. Here's 1. All right. Gayatri Devi, the mother of devotion. 2 more, please. Thank you. Yamuna Devi, the goddess of purification. One more, please. Thank you. Lord Kapila. So, Gayatri Devi, the mother of devotion. So, in these teachings, this one-pointedness and the divine getting you out of this, releasing you from this black box of Saturn. The divine is reminding you that the importance of devotion. And you could even look at it as every act can be devotion if that's your intent. And Gayatri Devi's blessings are peace of mind. So have peace of mind in this. Don't wallow in the turmoil or in the apathy here. Another blessing is spiritual knowledge. So with these writings of the great beings, greater concentration. So Dharana, with this one-pointedness. So you're going to be receiving the concentration necessary to take your gaze off of these 3 cups and check for the cup of the divine. And the ability to please all of the gods. So you are finding divine favor from doing this shadow work and releasing yourself from this. And this is why the divine is swooping in, because it sees, oh, this person has done the work necessary. What they're wanting is genuine and authentic and resonates with the fabric of the universe, love, honor, respect. So the divine is coming in to give you this helping hand here. Yamuna Devi, the goddess of purification. So this whole process is a purification. This releasing yourself from this destruction. These questions, is this a friend or foe? Seeing through the false ego. This is all part of this purification process that's necessary to come into this spiritual union, which is what you're truly wanting. And her blessings are self-purification, joy of divine playfulness, absorption in spiritual truth, an attachment to God's personal form. So attachment to seeing that the divine is within you. But when we're in this energy, there is a feeling of separateness from God. But coming in to this, taking this cup into this spiritual union, you're seeing that God is within you. Lord Kapila, the knower of matter and spirit. The blessings here are the power of discrimination. Now, in the Hindu sense of discrimination is not really what it means in the West here. This is the discrimination between the activity of the mind and the true self, the true essence of yourself, which is not the mind. The mind and the body are part of the vehicle that the self uses to maneuver through this reality. This is the discrimination that it's talking about here. Another blessing is divine understanding and liberation. Liberation from these things. And the knowledge and mastery of the material elements. All right, let's get 3 cards from the Morgan Tarot deck for what is on Virgo's spiritual path for August 2022. 3 cards, please. Just 3, please. 3 cards, please. Mm-hmm. 3 cards. Thank you. So we have the Who Am I card and the Awake card. One more, please. One card, please. All right. So at the bottom we have the card, Keep Up the Good Work. So you're using this this purification to work on yourself. Do this shadow work, extricate yourself out of that, and the Spirit is saying, keep up the good work. You're on the right track here. So you're starting to see through the holes in this connection, and in doing so, you're starting to ask yourself, oh, like I'm seeing through this false ego of this person. Who am I? So really, again, with this is deeper shadow work. Who am I? What am I? Beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts. Who am I? And you're getting this wake-up call in this shadow work, through this purification, seeing through the holes. You're like, uh-oh. And I get this sense of, like, uh-oh, I'm late. I don't know who that resonates with, but uh-oh, I'm late. I should have done this earlier. Or perhaps I should have seen this earlier. But there's no time like the present. Everything happens in its divine timing. You're right where you need to be. And when you wake up to this, you step out of this. You grab this cup. And I would say even before this spiritual partner appears, you step into your power. Because you're no longer taking the lead from anybody. You're not allowing anybody to be the leader of your show here. You're no longer serving this false leader. You're stepping into your power. And this is where you can step into power with this spiritual connection here, this spiritual partnership with someone else who has also stepped into their power. So let's get 3 cards. This is the Thoth deck. Excuse me. What are some hindrances on Virgo's spiritual path for August 2022? What are the hindrances for Virgos? All right. Stuck here. So we have, excuse me, the Prince of Discs. Interesting. 2 more, please. 2 more, please. All right. I'm going to give us that. All right. We have disappointment. And the Lovers. The Knight of Cups. So, this Prince of Discs, I usually don't read it, but when we have it with the Devil card here, this Chariot is being pulled by this bull. Essentially, this rider is bound by this bull, and there's a fear that if you release yourself from this, that this bull is going to turn around and run you down. And I think you got a similar reading last month. So this is definitely one of the hindrances. Another hindrance here is lingering here, looking back at these 3 cups, with this disappointment, and then we have the Lovers card. So the disappointment of this past connection, of this past lover, of giving your love out to someone who was not reciprocating. There is this disappointment that has to be let go of in order to move forward here. Whoops. And here we have the Knight of Cups here. So rationally, you want to get out of this in a graceful manner. But the Spirit is saying that this too would be a hindrance with the Rajas. You are forcing your way out of this. There's no way to do that gracefully. So trying to ride out of this gracefully is going to be a hindrance. You just have to force your way out of this. And if you think about it, if you have to force your way out of a connection, this connection is not meant for you. That would be a red flag on a toxic relationship. So those are some of the hindrances. Let's get one card from, what is the name of this deck? I forget. Dreamscapes Oracle deck. One card, please, for our Virgos, for what's on their spiritual path for August 2022, please. One card. All right. The Spring. This speaks of a spring of water, a natural spring. So, and this is, a lot of times is water that is, almost coming out of nowhere. This is just springing up. And your cup is dwindling, and the divine is trying to hand you this cup out of thin air, out of nowhere, this spring. And the Spirit, the divine, is wanting you to know that when you step out of this energy, there's going to be a spring, an overflowing of emotion and compassion and love, to where you can then be in your emotional balanced place. All right, let's do these. All right, we'll get a couple messages from the Oracle of Rama deck. I don't use this one for all the readings, but sometimes when it looks a little sticky, I'll pull this one out. When it looks dicey. Lakshmana. No, somebody else just got that. All right, Lakshmana. And this card comes with the message of power of accomplishment. So this shadow work and the getting out of this energy, stepping into your power. These are accomplishments, and you should really be proud of yourself from doing these things. All right, 2 messages. All right, for our Virgos. It was quick with those, so let's see what this has to say. A victorious return home. So you're returning back to the state you were in before this union. You're returning home to yourself. Now, this doesn't mean physical home. This is talking about this inner power of you being in control of your life. And here we have a higher law opens the way. Act decisively. Again, with this forcing your way out of this. Demanding liberation. And the higher law, the divine, is coming through to make a way for you out of this. And that there are treasures and abundance waiting for you on the other side of this. So let's get 3 cards from the Tiny. At least that's what I call it. I always forget what the name of this is. All right, I'll look. It's the Inner Self-Guidance cards. All right, let's see what's underneath here. I am appreciated. So this is what you should really be feeling within yourself, because to do this shadow work, you are appreciating yourself and realizing that you deserve to have love in the way that you want it. And the divine is appreciating this hard work that you've done. And this spiritual union, this person is going to appreciate you in your power. Forgive self. So this disappointment in how you've given your love, and to forgive yourself, and that's all we can really do is give love. And when we see that it's not reciprocated in the way that we need, then we move on. But we don't beat ourselves up for giving love. We forgive ourselves and we move forward. And it's a belief. So believing in yourself that you can overcome this hurdle, believing in the divine, that there's a way being opened up for you. And I feel, again, like believing in yourself. I am appreciated. Forgive self. And it's a belief that you're holding that you've done something wrong here. This is all part of your life's path to go through this. And this only makes you stronger, because this actually puts you in your true power. And you will actually be stronger from going through this than you would be if you had never gone through this. So let's get 3 final cards for our Virgos for what is on their spiritual path in August 2022. 3 final cards for a parting message for our Virgos. Thank you. For August. So 4 Pentacles, you are holding what you got close to your heart. 2 more cards, please. And again, the divine is trying to hand you this cup because you're holding what you got close. You're really focused on what has been lost, and the divine really wants you to reach out and take that cup. Because when you do, you're going to step into your power here. And to extricate yourself out of this, you're going to have to be very direct. Like I said, there's no graceful way to do this. You have to be very direct. And when you do this, the bottom here, we have the Hierophant. This is a spiritual level up. And this is learning. And let's see what's underneath here. So there's a spiritual level up, but you feel like by stepping out of this that there's a defeat taking place. But you are walking away. Let's see what's underneath. The 9 of Cups. This isn't a defeat. In fact, you're spiritually leveling up. Something's been defeated. I don't think it's you. You're walking away, and when you do, you step into your wish fulfillment. Your dream come true. So this is, it ends with your satisfaction. You being satisfied and content, having almost every cup in the deck. So the divine has your back on this. And that on the other side of this is these 9 of Cups. Not just the 3 you're focused on, and the one that the divine is trying to hand you. But this is a wish come true. So Virgos, we're going to leave it here. If any of this resonates with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It is really most appreciated, and I appreciate all of you for listening and watching and tuning in. And Virgos, I'll catch you on the next go-round. Peace.